Peace. This is Asha Sola, the Enchantress of the Enchanted Life. I am doing this video as a continuation video from the a few days ago about the etheric touch.
Yes.
I am here with Ifa.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Peace. Once again, man, you are beautiful on the other side of this camera. I like that purple lipstick.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes. It's true.
So, one of the questions that I was asked is, what's the vision for the etheric touch?
Yeah, like, where do you see it going? Like, what's the vision? Because previously you said, like, I heard you say that it's a movement. Like, so what is the vision? Like, where is it headed? Where are you headed with the etheric touch?
So the etheric touch for me is a healing system. It's a holistic healing system that starts with energy work and incorporates other modalities that you learn as self-care practices, and then it grows into something that can be offered to other people in the stages. So the etheric touch level 1 is the self-care unit. The reason why self-care is important is because all the techniques, all the modalities need to be something that it has been incorporated in the practitioners' healing practices, so that they can become intimate with energy. They can become intimate with energy work. They can understand how it feels to them, and they're able to use those things as exercises in the future. Ancestral medicine, which is level 2, is teaching them about communing with the ancestors and teaching about the importance of incorporating them into the space during healing sessions for self and others. The third level is shared healing. So all the techniques and all the wisdom that has been obtained from levels 1 and 2 would be incorporated into a ritualistic healing sessions that is intuitively based. For the practitioners, based off of the things they've already learned. So now they have been practicing on themselves. They know how energy works. They have been talking and communing with their ancestors. They're starting to understand their lineage work. And then from there, it's incorporated for other people. And they're able to take these techniques and use it as healing modalities for others. The fourth level is for those that are compelled to teach. And then there are continuing education classes. So in the continuing education classes, there are even more healing modalities to incorporate into your practice, also leading up to the etheric loving level, where you're learning how to love yourself, you're learning how to sensualize your life, and you're learning to have more of an orgasmic experience throughout your day-to-day. So the idea is to have an enchanted way of life. So for me, the etheric touch is the medicine, and the enchanted life is the way.
Okay, so like, can we just briefly go over each one of those different components to the etheric touch, just briefly? Like, because I know the first one that you said was it self-care?
Self-care.
So like, are you saying with the self-care aspect of it, like, how can you utilize, or how can you perform something that it's not, you know what I mean, that you're not in tune with, that you're not aware of, that you're not experiencing in your own life, right?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. And even with self-care, understanding that these modalities is helping to heal you as the practitioner. Like, that's the most important part, is that it's healing you. As we get through the levels of the etheric touch, the idea is for you to understand that you are a conductor of energy, and energy is flowing through you. And if you're not familiar with what it feels like when your energy shifts, when it changes, when it's high, when it's low, and the things that you need to do in order to be able to regenerate yourself, then when you go into trying to help somebody else, you're going to find yourself feeling drained. And on many of my students, that is their main concern, is that they find themselves being drained and don't know how to replenish. With the etheric touch, the whole practice involved is so that you can, in level 1, is so that you learn to harness your own energy. so that when it is time for you to work on other people, you understand that you're working from your overflow and it's not draining you of anything. And in actuality, anytime you're practicing, whether on yourself or with others, you're actually filling up your cup even more.
Yes, because by me, you know, like being a first-hand practicer of the etheric touch already, like the healing techniques that's involved with it, like doing the self-care aspect of the training, you know, like the things that you learn, like these are the things that will heal the individual that's seeking to be a practitioner themselves. Like when we, like, because I heard you say that it's a lifestyle, like it's a way of life. Like when a person begins to implement these different modules that you will be teaching about healing, like in their everyday life, it puts them in a position of power, really.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? When it's time to perform on someone else, and it gives them so many different healing tools to choose from.
Yes.
That they are experiencing in their own lives, because they are a practitioner of this information. Like it's a way of life.
Yes.
That puts a person in tune with themselves as well as this universe, so the energy is able to be channeled through them, you know what I mean, in the first place, to perform healing on someone else.
Exactly.
So this is a system that a person lives by to put them in the greatest, or you know, to be in
the most optimal place.
The optimal place of healing, or you know what I mean, someone else.
Yes.
So that's what level 1 is about.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yes, and so then, and of course, my the idea is that this becomes a way of life. This is a lifestyle. This is not just, you know, oh, this is a module C that I'll practice and put in my toolbox and never touch again. Nah, this is things. Even though every technique does not have to be practiced every day, the module C's practice as a daily routine only builds you up to be able to be more empowered in your own healing work, because you can see the effects of that the healing is taking place with yourself. Yes.
Makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Okay, so and then you said ancestral medicine.
Yes, that's level 2.
Level 2. Like, can you just give a brief?
With the ancestral medicine, so typically we were all brought up not understanding who our ancestors are, and not on some level we understood them from their name base, who they may be in relationship to our life, but many of us actually, like, we were supposed to know 7 generations prior to us being born, and most of us don't even know that. So when we talk about ancestors, we're talking about identifying who they are, identifying the different categories of ancestors, because you have your own particular ancestors, the ones that you come from that lineage, and then you have historical ancestors, you have communal ancestors. So we build on those things. We also begin to talk about the importance of communing with them, and what that means, and what that looks like, and how to give them offerings, and how to be able to
elevate our ancestors.
Yeah, elevate them, but also start working on your own lineage work. Seeing where, because the truth of the matter is, because we're healing, somebody in your line was a healer. If this is something that you're drawn to, somebody in your line was a healer, and particularly as you engage more with your ancestors, they'll start revealing to you the healing capabilities you have within that line. You know, so and particularly as that engagement, as that intimacy with the ancestors continues to grow, then what ends up happening is they direct you as to what needs to be done for healing sessions, and that's also in part of the intuitive work. It's also part of the customization. It's also part of the ritual work, and the etheric touch, when performed, whether with self or with others, should always be ritualistic in its nature. That's where the magic is. You know, that's where the magic unfolds, is manifesting. And so in order to be able to engage in magic, you have to understand where it's stemming from, and that's what the ancestral medicine level is about.
Yeah, and also as well that if our ancestors don't give us the
okay,
nod or the okay on anything that we're attempting to do in life, it's not going to work out.
Yep, we kind of chasing our own tails. You know, we're chasing our own tails. And even with the etheric touch, one of the beautiful things about it is that we also teach binary divination. So we're even teaching you how to commune with them and receive the answers that you're that they're giving back to you. I ain't gonna say what you want, because the ancestors don't always give you what you want. You know, they don't always tell you what you want to hear, but they give you the truth. You know what I'm saying? And we use divination in order to understand the communication between them. So you even get that tool as part of the etheric touch.
Okay, so does that have anything to do with like meditation, things like that? Because I know like speaking to our ancestors is one thing, but meditation is a way that we can hear back from our ancestors as well.
Well, and that's why we start in self-care with meditation. Okay. Meditation is one of the foundational modules that is touched upon in level 1 in order for you to start to begin to become used to being in that quiet space and being able to understand and listen to messages. Meditation is completely about being in the present and being aware of what's going on. It has nothing to do, it has less to do with what you want and more to do with what you're receiving.
I got you.
Yes.
Giving and receiving. Asking, you shall receive. Okay,
yes.
So the third level.
So the third level is where we began to speak about shared healing others. This is the level that you're that the students are getting prepared to work with other clients. And so in this level, we discuss hands-on energy work. We discuss disclosures and ethics in relations to your clients. We discuss rituals and how to create the space of healing, because a lot of times if you recognize that when you go to like the hospitals and have to go have medical procedures, it's a real cold, sterile feeling, and it does not promote healing. So in this level, this is the place where we're teaching them how to promote healing, how to administer the etheric touch, and then also too, they get the opportunity to perform rituals for me. You know, allow me to be their client and their healing rituals as they go through that certification course. And a lot of things in the expectations for in level 3 is that I see that they're incorporating the things that they have been practicing on themselves, leading all the way up to this level. Now again, the etheric touch is so expansive that no healing session will be alike. So that even gives them more authority and freedom to perform and to practice, to perform, to administer healing intuitively. Intuitively is less about hand placement and what this is and what that is, and it's more about the practitioner and the intuitive knowledge that they feel and helping to incorporate healing for their clients.
Yeah, and I just want to speak about a little bit how you say sit in the atmosphere, like like how I know how personally that works, like and watching you, observing you, because you are a practitioner of the things that you're sharing right now, and I know that firsthand. Like whenever me and you would get into some spaces that we might be kind of in like a disagreement, you know what I mean, or you know, like emotions might kind of be running a little bit wild or whatever, but how you would always go off and set an atmosphere, like when we knew it was things that we had to talk our way through, you know what I mean, to come to a place of you know, back to harmony. Ultimately, how you would go and you would set the atmosphere in a certain type of way, and you would call me into this space, and I wouldn't have no choice but to go ahead and start like calming my emotions, just preparing myself for what I know is getting ready to happen, because the atmosphere be speaking of what's going on, like the message that you was given just through that action.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's very important. It's very calm and it's very relaxing. Like it put me like in a place of like beyond ego or beyond like emotions or things that, you know, could hinder me and you coming back into that place of harmony.
Yes.
The atmosphere from that aspect, just from my own personal experience with you, is extremely important.
Yes, and see, and that's one of the things, that's why I feel that setting the atmosphere is so important, because it's in that space when you're setting the atmosphere that you get to place your intention there. And you get to facilitate what actually can transpire. And a lot of times people don't see, like when we think about healing work, we really just think about having somebody on our table. You know what I'm saying? We're not considering that this same philosophy, this same practice can be used in talking with, you know, your children, talking with your husband, with your mate, with your partners, with your parents, with your family. Like you can literally set up an atmosphere to be able to facilitate any kinds of deep conversations, especially the ones that have the potential to be volatile, by using the etheric touch. And so in the third module, see, they get to explore that a lot more. They get to start to see what that means when they actually set the atmosphere for things versus when they allow things to happen in their natural progressive type of way, and see how it balances and harmonizes the situation. Transforms things. Yes. So that's level 3.
Yeah. So and level 4 is,
it's for teachers. So it is my vision that the etheric touch is a healing module. See, is a medicine. It's the medicine. It's the medicine to have a life of grace and harmony and sweetness and pleasure. It's the foundation of it. It's the medicine. So for people who understand that and see how it has been able to transform their own lives, those people have the option to teach the course. And my teachers also are affiliates on my website, so they're getting promoted. They're getting promotions there. They get curriculums, they get outlines, they get all the necessary tools that they need to be able to teach others this course.
So I see how this is becoming, like how you say the vision, because you explained it to me as it being a movement.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. Yes, it is a movement.
So I'm just saying, like, just how you explained that, I could see it in my mind.
Yes, because if the people that come through as students for the etheric touch actually utilize the techniques given to them, then they will see their lives transforming. It's inevitable. I think that one of the issues that we have is an ignorance of what energy is, an ignorance of how energy works, and an ignorance of the empowerment that we have when we're able to utilize energy around us. And so those people who can see the transformations happening as they go through the first 3 levels, and they feel like, okay, I've been out here and I've been teaching, I've been working on clients for a while, and not only is it transforming my life, but I see how it's transforming my client's life. Those people are going to want to teach people, because those clients are going to want to understand it for themselves. I know in the beginning, once again, for me, I was so blown away by how energy works that I had to know how I could access it myself. And sometimes people think about it because they want to be able to do it for other people. I was one of those people. But you have no idea about how these many various techniques ends up working out for your betterment first, before you can even deal with anybody else.
How can you heal someone else if you're not coming from a place of healing yourself?
Right, heal thyself. So that's level 4. And then after level 4, they're just going to be continuing education modules. So we'll have divination, we'll have sensuality classes, we'll have relationship classes, etheric loving classes, we'll have did I say sensuality? I might have. We'll have qigong, we'll have nutrition. There's so many different things that will be continuously given as offerings, and then there'll be other teachers involved that I already highly recommend, that I work with now, that will be involved in teaching some things such as pendulum classes, sensual movement, things of that nature. Yoga will be implemented as one of the healing modules. So it'll just, so as time progresses, so one of the things I feel like the community was lacking is that after a certain point of learning energy work or Reiki, that's it. You're kind of on your own to do whatever you want. And then you have to go somewhere else to learn divination. And then you have to go somewhere else to learn this and that and whatever. You know what I'm saying? These different, but everything is coming under this. Yes, everything is coming under the same umbrella. Because for me, I want people to see their lives transforming into an enchanted life, a charmed life. I want people to know that they are touched by grace and by mercy, and that God is with them no matter what spiritual systems they're using. That energy, they have access to energy as a source all around them, and it can transform your life. And that's what the enchanted life is. You know, it's using the etheric touch as your medicine to transform your life. It's a healing system. It's a movement. The more we heal ourselves, the more the world can heal. But it has to stem from self first and then expand outwardly. And that's the etheric touch. The etheric touch is melanin. It's the absorption of all healing modules.
Melanin is.
Yes, it's the absorption. Yeah, it's the absorption of all these different healing modules that become something that's so intimate within the person, but within the practitioner, that it can become a ritualistic healing session for not only themselves but for others. And within that healing, the healing session, the intuition, the customization, the ritualization of the etheric touch, they're able to touch people, and people are able to have profound spiritual experience from the practice, the healing art of what the etheric touch is.
It begins to make life enchanted, just
yes.
like you said. And maybe one day we will explain some of the mystical, magical, enchanted adventures, experiences that we done had together.
Yeah.
From this way of life.
I know. Today it was interesting. Today I had got an email from my sister, and she had just reached out and said, you know I don't reach out to you guys a lot and speak to you guys a lot, but I follow you guys on, your page, mm-hmm. and the things that you put out here, it really helps me, and I share with others. So please keep doing what you're doing. So I'd be more than happy to share our experiences, but I want it to come from a place of understanding that this is a lifestyle. The etheric touch is the medicine. The enchanted life is the way. Yes. And everything that we experience is because we put these techniques, these methods into action. Yes.
And we have experienced
and we
so
have.
Much.
And a lot of times I think that the thing that people miss is love being an action word. Mm-hmm. A lot of people fall in love, oh, I'm so in love with this person. And then after a while that feeling, the flame dies, mm-hmm. With us, because we practice this, the etheric touch, this movement, this healing system. Mm-hmm. We've been able to we
didn't only fall in love, but we
stood in love and grows and we grow in love. It's just so many. It's important to me that people understand when people say love is an action word. Well, what does that action look like? Mm-hmm. How can you love another person if you don't know how to love yourself? And that's why self-care is the foundation.
And that's what begins to make life enchanted.
Yes. And that's what because as you're healing yourself, your life becomes more enchanted. And when you meet a partner, you know what I'm saying, then that way of life can be implemented. If both parties implement the etheric touch as part of their healing, system, they're part of their lifestyle, then both people can actually put love into action. Yes. And so that's the purpose, and that's the vision.
That is beautiful. And that came all out of your beautiful mind.
Well.
Yes, inside and out, y'all. All right. So that was a beautiful explanation of the etheric touch.
Yes, I just hope that as time progresses, people become more intrigued with it and want this healing modality. I'm so excited because it's been 10 years in the making. Mm-hmm. And I'm just really thankful for everybody who's been involved, who understand the vision and have been working with me to be able to make my vision manifest. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you soon.
Peace.